Thank you for your responses. As you can see, the success and quality of a mentoring relationship is dependent on the conversational approach of a mentor. Let us understand the different aspects that constitute healthy conversational approaches. When communicating with your mentee, please remember these 4 golden rules of communication. The first one being, listen actively. A recent study states that the average attention span of the human mind is 8 seconds, less than that of a goldfish's. As you would have noticed in the first video, the mentor interrupted the mentee and jumped to incorrect conclusions. However, in the second video, the mentor was listening effectively, which is apparent from the questions that followed. Some ways to show that you are listening to your mentee are: number 1, if possible, use body language to convey that you are engaged in the conversation. Nod your head, smile, make small sounds of acknowledgement. Number 2, avoid distractions. Keep your phones away, do not surf the internet, and do not interrupt your meetings. Moving on to the second tip, reflect, paraphrase. Here, while your mentee is sharing thoughts with you, it is important to reiterate what has been said to ensure 2 things. Number 1, you have understood the matter described by your mentee well, and number 2, your mentee understands and knows you care and that you've been listening. Remember not to add to what the mentee said by presenting judgment or solutions. It is also important to remember that sometimes your silence may be misconstrued as judgment or disagreement with what the mentee is saying, whereas it may just be that you are actively listening so as to not interrupt the mentee. So you can give positive affirmations along with reflecting and paraphrasing to indicate to the mentee that you empathize. The third tip then, ask open-ended questions. What did you notice about the questions asked by the mentor in the first video? You're right. Most questions elicited yes or a no response. What was different in the second video? Did you notice that the questions encouraged the mentee to give full, meaningful answers using their knowledge and feelings? These type of questions are called open-ended questions. Mentors should ask open-ended questions and probe as much as possible to help their mentees think about their situations better. Open-ended questions eliminate any judgmental tone that may arise with direct questions. There are 4 broad areas you can use to structure your open-ended questions: thoughts, feelings, actions, and physiology. However, do note that at all times, it might not be easy for your mentee to start narrating difficult situations from their life. It also often happens that young adults are not able to understand their own thoughts and feelings without some help to work them out, which then means that sometimes you may have to make guesses for your mentee by empathizing with them in order to take the discussion forward. If the guess is wrong, that's not a problem, as this in itself helps to work out what the right thought or feeling is. On the other hand, if the guess is right, your mentee will agree with you, and this will help you to communicate and validate. So the next question is then, how can you empathize well? The answer is simple. You again think of feelings, thoughts, actions, and physiology. Our final tip, normalize. Normalizing can happen in terms of the past as well as in terms of the present. Normalizing an experience helps lower anxiety and shows that you, as a listener, are understanding what is being said to you. This also helps your mentee understand why they feel the way they do and maybe also why they are doing certain things that they are doing. In the second video, you would have noticed how the mentor relates to past incidents both from mentee as well as mentor's life to ease the mentee's anxiety and also to help the mentee reflect on the incident.